Hello students, welcome to online classes from KV Rai Academy. Myself Arun Pandey. I am going to discuss class 8 subject science chapter 7. So chapter 7 will be the cell. So inside the chapter cell today we are going to discuss about organization of cells in organisms. And cells in an organism vs buildings in a bricks in a building. So one thing we are going to discuss organization of cells in an organism and cells in an organism vs bricks in a building. So first of all, organizations of cells in organism, that means how cells are organized in an organism. So cells usually group together to make tissues, organs, various organ system, and finally organism will be formed. A tissue is a group of cells. A tissue is a group of cells of the same size, shape, and function. For example, examples of some tissues are muscle tissue and nerve tissue. An organ is a structure. Now, an organ is a structure that contains more than one tissues. An organ is a structure that contains more than one tissues. It is normally big enough to be seen. It is normally big enough to be seen from our eyes. For example, some organs are heart, brain, and so on. The organs don't work alone. Organs constitute a group and form an organ system, and that's why it is functioning in the body. So organs working together and they form organ system in the body. So there are various organ system in the body, just as excretory system, digestive system, lymphatic system, circulatory system. These are organ systems which are working in our body. Similarly, there are different organs involved in the system. So different organ system working together form an organism. So cells is the smallest unit. Smallest unit is the cell, then tissue, then organ system, and all these constitute an organism. Now I am going to discuss cells in an organism vs bricks in a building. That means how cells in an organism and bricks in a building, how it will compare. So it is mentioned earlier, living organism are made up of cells, and cells is the smallest living unit of an organism. We discussed earlier that cells is the smallest unit in an organism and cell is the smallest living unit of an organism. So can the cells in an organism be compared to bricks, a building, or pages of book? Cells in an organism can be compared. Bricks in a building or pages in a book. Why? You know that bricks are arranged to make building. One bricks will be arranged an enormous building will be formed. Like that, similarly, a number of pages are assembled and arranged to make book. One pages, a number of pages will be arranged and form a book, form a copy also. In this way, same way, cells are arranged to make an organism. Can you make a building without bricks? Building cannot be made without bricks. Books or copies will not make without pages. So an organism cannot be made without cells. So you know that we can say that cells is the structural and functional unit of life. Cells is the structural and functional unit of living organisms. Despite this, similarly, a building or book or an organism, despite this, similarly, they differ in one important aspect. While cells are complex living structure, bricks and pages are non-living. So cells are living and the bricks and pages are non-living structures. So then, after this, we are going to discuss about variety in cell number, shape and size. What variety in cell number, shape and size? That means different cells have different number of cells, different shapes and sizes also. So cells in different organisms show variation in their number, such as organism that have one cell. Organism that have one cell is called unicellular organism or acellular organism. Just like yeast, paramecium, these are unicellular organism. And multicellular organism such as human beings, that means organism which possess more than one cell. Organism which having more than one cell is called multicellular organism, such as animals and human beings are multicellular organism. And according to shape, cells have different shapes: oval, circular, spindle shaped, and so on. These are the cell number and different sizes of the cells which are present inside the human body. So according to cell shapes, cells are found irregular, just as amoeba, round spherical as egg cell, spindle shaped as pointed muscle cells, elongated thin branch nerve cell, kidney or bean shaped, the gourd cell, and the long and rectangular as mesophyll cells, and so on. So I think that this much enough. Thanks.